Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mikey, intern Ned Reynolds in the studio Thursday morning. Yesterday when we talked, you said the last few weeks the Bears basketball team has shown some really good stuff. Did that continue last night?
It did and it didn't. And that I know that's kind of a straddling of the fence, so to speak, and describing a game. But the Bears played okay in the first half. They trailed Kennesaw State, but not by very much. But then they came out, they being the Bears, really flat in the second half. And Kennesaw State went on a 19-0 run, and really, in all honesty, Mike, that was the game. Bears did show a rally in the final 10 minutes of the game, did cut the margin to single digits, but they couldn't get really over the top, and they lose to Kennesaw State 90-80. Bears defense in that second half, I don't know what happened to them, but they just did not have a whole lot of fire going for them. Michael Jose Bonsu did have 21 points for the Bears, and that was great. But when you take a look at the foul shooting for Missouri State, it wasn't real good. The Bears were 18 of 31 from the foul line, and Josh, you just cannot give up that number of points from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, Kennesaw State, they were 25 of 33, I think it was, from the foul line, and therein lies much of the difference. And Kennesaw State had some very good perimeter shooting. They hit 11 trees in the game. But be that as it may, final score is 90-80 in favor of Kennesaw State. The Bears will try to get well late Saturday afternoon when they play Florida International. And the team from Miami, which comes up here to play in the Great Southern Bank Arena, is pretty good.
And that's unfortunate because you had mentioned that the Bears defense was starting to kind of show some good stuff. But you know what? That's why they have a lot of games of basketball. Sometimes that doesn't always happen. All right, what are your thoughts on what happened with the Tigers?
Well, this is really interesting because the Tigers played in Lexington, Kentucky, and we opined on the other show as well as this one that Kentucky is not as good as they've been over the years. This is not a really paragon Kentucky bluegrass team. They're not in the national rankings. They are way down in the bottom of them. And yet they were a 10.5-point favorite. Hey, take the points and go with Mizzou. Well, not only would you have won, Missouri won the game. Now, the Tigers trailed for almost the entire game, but, oh gosh, somewhere very late with maybe around 2 minutes to go, Missouri took the lead, held it, and won by a score of 73-68 over Kentucky. The big kid, the 6'9" kid, Mark Mitchell, had 21 for Mizzou. He's a kid from Bishop Miege over on the Kansas side of Kansas City, and then transferred down to Sunrise Academy, Sunrise Christian, which is in Wichita. And that's kind of a finishing school, so to speak, for basketball, and really excelled there. Did transfer to Missouri, but the bottom line is this: he had 21 points, and a one-year player for Missouri, Jaden Stone, had 20. And a nice win, 73-68. Missouri gets Kentucky. It's a nice win, and the Tigers are undefeated in the SEC.
You know, it's got to be somewhat frustrating as a Cardinals fan to sit there and look at what you really want the team to do in the offseason, and they're not really doing. And then you look at a divisional opponent, and you look at what they're doing, and you're like, man, I wish we were doing that right now.
The difference is the philosophy in the front office and why. Now, the Cubs, you're making reference to the Cubs deal yesterday. They secured Edward Cabrera. And Mr. Cabrera, folks, while he flew under the radar with the Miami Marlins, is really, really a good pitcher. And the Cubs give up a trio of minor league prospects to get him. The kid is 6'5", 27 years old, and a flamethrower. He threw in 127 innings, struck out 150 batters last year. Now, his record wasn't great, but the Marlins weren't either. But in 26 starts, his ERA was 3.5. This will fit very well in the Cubs' rotation. Hey, they made a big, big deal here, and they're going to be awfully tough to handle when the season gets underway.
Definitely will be, and just a lot. You hope your team to make those moves in the offseason. Yesterday, kind of an interesting post got posted up by one of the supposed significant others of a Kansas City Chief. Now, before you go grab your pitchforks, it's just a post, and there hasn't been any criminal charges, but it's still not a great look on Rashee Rice.
Normally, I don't put on any allegations, and that's what these are. Allegations, folks. No charges, as Mike mentioned. Nothing like that. Just allegations, and from social media. And, of course, that's always accurate, right? Hardly. Anyway, what did disturb me a little bit about this was that the Chiefs are aware of the circumstance and have been in contact with the NFL. Okay, why do you get in contact with the big bosses if there's nothing to it? All right, be that as it may, it is a suggestion that Rashee Rice was involved in domestic assault against his girlfriend, and again, there are allegations, but come on, Rashee. He's supposed to have learned his lesson from the driving incident that he had. Well, come on. You don't get involved in something else like this. But again, allegations, we'll find out what happens.
And, yeah, don't grab your pitchforks just yet. You don't know anything about it until there is a reason why that's called due process, and that has not been done yet. But in good positive news for the Kansas City Chiefs, they let go of Connor Embry, the wide receiver coach yesterday, which is
That's a good move.
That's
Very
a
good move.
very good move. Big college football game last night. No. And if you were sitting there going, man, no more Thursday night football, well, you're wrong, because there's actually a pretty damn good college football game tonight, isn't there?
First of the semifinal games is tonight. Now, I'd had this question asked to me the other day. Why are they playing the college football games? It's Thursday and Friday for the semifinals. That's normally not the case at all. Maybe Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday, but Thursday and Friday? The answer, folks, is obvious. The college football does not want to go head-to-head with the NFL because you will lose every time out. That's why these games are Thursday and Friday. The first one is tonight, the Fiesta Bowl game. It's out at State Farm Stadium, which is in Glendale, Arizona. It's a suburb of Phoenix, and it's where the Arizona Cardinals play. It's a beautiful place, folks. Seats about 90,000. Whether or not they have that many for Ole Miss in Miami, well, We'll find out pretty quickly, but it's going to be a good game. And I might add, too, a local note here. The white hat in this game, the referee, will be Dr. Ron Snodgrass from here in Springfield. He has the officiating duties in this one, along with the Big Ten Conference crew. Now, the way they work it in the playoffs, conference referees cannot officiate in games involving their teams. Well, there are no Big Ten teams in this one. There are two Big Ten teams in the other game tomorrow night. That's the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. So that means a Big Ten team will be in the championship one way or the other. So the Big Ten referees will not be involved in that. But they are tonight, and Dr. Snodgrass, who does a great job, he's an outstanding official. He'll be looking over the whole scene. Miami is a 3.5-point favorite over Ole Miss. I cannot make up my mind because I can see Mississippi winning this game. But
Especially after the
I
way
can
they won
also
the last
see,
one.
well, and I can see Miami. Miami
Same.
beat Ohio State to start things
same
out.
difference.
But Miami also this season lost to Southern Methodist in an overtime game in Dallas. Again, you don't know what's going to happen. I think it'll be a really good football game.
Yeah, I definitely am going to be watching this one, and for his sake, I hope Snodgrass does call a good game, because if he doesn't and makes any mistakes, you just doxed him, so people are going to be looking for him tomorrow. Last but not least, the St. Louis Blues just can't seem to right that ship, can they?
They skated into Chicago last night, and the Chicago Blackhawks have a slightly better record than the Blues. Not overly so, but slightly better. Well, you never would have known it last night. It was a 2-2 game in the second period. The Blackhawks broke that 2-2 tie, and then here comes the, what would you call them, crystals of ice, I guess, in a hockey game, and that fell all over the St. Louis Blues. They couldn't get well. And the Blackhawks win it. Chicago Blackhawks 7, St. Louis Blues 3, and the Blues now go out to Salt Lake City to play the Utah Mammoth. And that will be, I believe, tomorrow night is the next game on that schedule. So that's the hockey situation.
Ned, have a wonderful Thursday, and thank God tomorrow's Friday.